The name Kim Ju is synonymous with exceptional photography. Kim opened his first portrait studio in 1976 on Central Avenue in Albuquerque with just a simple goal: create photographic art that makes people look good. Well, mission accomplished. 36 years later, he has captured the precious memory of world leaders, celebrities, and New Mexico families. Kim Ju, owner of Kim Ju Studios, joins us this morning. Good morning, Kim.
Morning, Nikki.
Great to have you here. And now you're behind the camera in a different way, a different kind of camera. And I want to talk about the fact that you grew up in New Mexico. So that's, a big part of your life in Albuquerque. You attended high school, and that's really where he began dabbling in photography. So I want to talk a little bit about Highland High School and what made you decide that from that point on you wanted to do this for a living. What was so compelling about it for you?
Well, I got my first camera my senior year at Highland, and people said that they didn't recognize me without it. But it was magical to me, especially when I was doing black and white. Seeing the images pop up in the chemicals, and it really was magic.
I love that. Well, you enrolled in the University of New Mexico, and actually he was on the path to becoming a dentist. So when did you decide to follow your true passion?
Well, it was a quantitative analysis class that made me change my thinking. None of my measurements worked out in the lab, and I said, maybe I'm not cut out for this line of work.
Maybe you're a little more artsy than mathematic. Right. Now, your manifesto, let's talk about that. That's a big part of what you do. The manifesto actually states that everybody is uniquely beautiful, everyone counts, and everyone has a story to tell, and of course that manifesto is right up on the screen. I want to ask you this, Kim, do you photograph everybody differently? I mean, can you explain your process?
Well, it starts with basically just kind of analyzing the strengths and weaknesses and trying to play up the parts that look the best and play down the areas that people just don't want other people to see. And we do that with shading and lighting and the right poses and tilts of the heads and things like that. And of course, the expressions. It's not going to be a good portrait unless it's just a real natural expression. But we cover all ranges because there's a lot of different aspects to people's personalities.
Absolutely, and I felt that when I photographed with you, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But I mean, as I've mentioned, you photographed world leaders and celebrities and so many New Mexico families. And you've also done exquisite landscapes. And we can't forget the commercial and the business side of things. So I want to take a look at the work so people can see the diversity in what you do. So let's take a look at some of these pictures. Oh my, well, not so shabby. You got a photo of the president.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Well, it's kind of surreal. You kind of feel like a Forrest Gump moment. You just say, how did I get here? How did this happen? So the camera's been like a passport. It gives me access to a lot of celebrities and people and places that you just never think you'd ever be at.
And look at, I mean, you bring out the personalities, you bring out the inside. It's not just what we see on the outside, but there's something internally that is so necessary for a good photographer to bring out. And I see that in the photos. You can see how you do that. And it's all in the eyes, isn't it, Kim?
You got it. They're actually windows to the soul. Yep. The
windows to the soul. And look at that photo. I mean, and like you said, it's the angles, it's the colors. And I noticed when I photographed with you and worked with you, I could see the passion in what you do. And obviously, getting a landscape like this, you have to be so passionate about your work. What are we looking at here?
That's the Bisti Badlands near Farmington.
Wow.
And that place is like you're on the moon. It's like Mars, totally different environment. Yeah.
It looks like another planet.
I think it's kind of an unsung place that people need to check out.
And look at this.
That's Cabazon Peak.
Wow, and this is a sun
north of Albuquerque. And there's a rainbow on the left there you can see. So again, kind of surreal. Yes.
It is amazing. Oh, and look at this.
That's a high school senior girl from actually Espanola.
Really?
And she was into comic books, and so that's kind of the essence of how we wanted to capture her.
Very anime. I love that. Oh, that is so cool. Oh, and how cute is that? Is this also another high school?
High school senior also, yeah.
I wish my senior picture looked like this. I think we all wish we could go back and change our pictures and have something that looks that amazing. The colors, aw, look at this one. What is this picture for?
It's just a portrait of the little girl, and something that her mom would always want to remember that moment in her life with.
Now, I mean, obviously, we're seeing so many different types of photos.
Those are my kids.
These are yours?
When they were little.
Oh, look how cute.
Justin and Chloe.
And that must really be the epitome of their personalities, huh?
That really is.
The protective sister.
That's my son and daughter, yeah, exactly.
That's precious. That is precious. And of course, I want to talk about oh, I know that girl. Who's that? That might be me.
Yes, and I do want to give credit to our hair and makeup artist.
No doubt, Joseph.
Joseph Saavedra. He's been working with us for over 30 years, and it's always great to have his magic help.
Let me tell you, I agree 100% on that. Without good hair and makeup, it's so difficult, and obviously you can work your magic, but when somebody like myself has a good hair and makeup artist, it makes me feel much more confident. As, behind the camera being photographed, I feel more confident with that. So you do a superb job.
Well, he played out your natural beauty, of course, Nikki.
Oh, so. Thanks, Kim. Well, it was my softer side.
That's right.
And, so many women out there are thinking, I wish I could get my photograph taken by Kim Ju. And actually, Kim Ju Studios held a deserving Mother's Day contest. So tell everybody who won.
To be honest, I don't have that on the script there.
we'll get the winner.
Okay.
But the thing is, what do they get for this? So they get to come on in and get a whole session.
They get
with
a whole
you?
session and a package, right?
How exciting!
It is.
That's a great gift because as a dad, what's better than the memory of your children, and what's better than capturing those memories?
Well, and mothers deserve everything we can give them.
Absolutely, they sure do. So how can our viewers contact Kim Ju Studios?
Well, you can check with us on our website, kimju.com, and you'll be able to see a lot of other portraits and photographs that we've taken over the years also. But we have 3 locations, so it's best to just check the website for the studio closest to you.
Sure. And I just do want to mention that having worked with you, there's something really wonderful about the way you take your time with every photo. And the way that photography works these days, you can delete a photo in the moment because of technology.
Right.
And yet you still take the time. I mean, I really felt taken care of. I just felt like you really cared about every single snap.
Well, that's exactly, we're only as good as our last photographs, and that's exactly kind of how we've built our business over the years.
And everybody knows who you are, and everybody has wonderful things to say. Thank you so much. You've proven why your reputation is so wonderful. I loved working with you.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you, Kim. And after the break, we are cooking with one of my favorite restaurants, Marcelo's. It's coming up next.